What is going on, everybody? Brent Abel here at goldballhunting.com. That dude over there, the great Jeff Jacklich. Yes, sir. We got another episode today. We are working on how to help you become a confident, consistent shot maker extraordinaire, right? The number we've been working
Ooh, I
on
like that.
is four plus. So, guys, we've got something else we want to chat with you today about how this doesn't have to take for the rest of your life to get good at it. So hang in there with us today to the end of this episode because we got something very good for you. So the big question is this: how are tennis players like us who never played in the tour, weren't incredible juniors, or maybe got a late start to the game, how do we consistently compete at our highest skill level without having to grind through endless hours of on-court practice time and still be in the hunt for victory match after match? That is the question, and Gold Ball Hunting gives you the answers by helping you eliminate your skill level range so that you build a strong foundation of confidence. My name is Brent Abel, and along with my biz partner Jeff Jacklich, welcome to Gold Ball Hunting. All right, guys, thanks for joining us again. Another episode of the Gold Ball Hunting podcast. Jeffrey, my man, what is going on over there today in Northern California?
Beautiful fall day here in NorCal, crystal clear. Maybe a little hazy as the afternoon wears on. From the Kincaid fire is still, it's not like 85% contained, but which means that fire grew to, I don't know, like I want to say close to 100,000 acres.
Ouch.
So at 85% contained, that still means that there's a lot of acreage still burning.
That's
so
right.
Which means that it's still filtering down here in the Bay Area. Not as bad as it was, but still it's great that we're coming out of it, and they have it contained and all that. So it's it's a good day.
Good. Well, same deal here in the desert. Another beautiful day. Going to hit 90 something today down here in the desert. Darn it. Sorry. Grass court tennis. Oh well. Anyway, so look, I know I'm a brat sometimes. That's just the way it is. I can't help it. Guys, another episode of the Gold Ball Hunting Podcast, and let's see what we've been doing. We've been helping players all week, Jeff, talk about how we can start to become confidently a lot more consistent throughout the entire point, right? And the first day we talked about how to confidently hit 4 more high quality shots in a row in every point without the frustration of making another bonehead error. We kind of went through that thing, talking about how it's just so emotional, the stuff we do, right? We just come up with some goofy ideas, and we got a better way to help you guys kind of get out of that, sort of break out of those kind of lousy habits so that you can become a consistent shot maker. Yesterday we talked, about how a lot of us sort of be thinking that I cannot hit the same ball 4 times in a row to the same spot over there. In fact, I've got to be a tactical genius. I've got to be able to hit one there, one over there, one over there. And there's 17 different choices. But that sort of gets back to day one, which is kind of the bonehead deal, right? Where I keep saying we got to be less stupid, right? So the proof is in the pudding, in that if you can hit 4 balls to the same spot over there, forehand, backhand, I don't care what it is, the chances now go up shot after shot after shot that you're gonna win the point, gonna win the game, gonna win the set, gonna win the match. All good things are, you'll be in the tour, you'll be in here, we'll be having to charge you 25% of your prize money. But today what we want to talk about is, look, man, is this thing going to take forever to be able to kind of break through those habits, right? Kind of break through the habit of just making kind of a bonehead, stupid choice, or thinking that tactically I got to do something crazy out here to be consistent. And so, guys, we've got some ideas for you about how to fast track this so that you don't feel that this is going to take 6 months every day on the court and just drilling mindlessly cross court or whatever it is, forehand and backhand, to be able to kind of make this thing kind of automatic for you, which is just not the truth. I mean, I see a lot of players, and look, I used to be guilty of this. I would go out there and I would just go cross court forever, right? And look, it was fine. It helped me a lot, but I didn't need to be doing that. What I should have been doing instead was playing some practice sets, because that would have been a lot
Right.
more, a lot more realistic than the guy over there feeding me another backhand, which he might not do in a real match. So
Right.
anyway, so let's talk about a couple of things, Jeff, that players can do to really kind of fast track what we have been yakking about recently, myelination. And in fact, before we do that, since you're the smarty britches here in the partnership,
God.
which is not saying much, by the way.
It's not saying much.
If
Yeah,
you're
okay,
gonna
let's qualify
if you're
that
gonna
statement,
compare
okay?
yourself to me, it's not saying a whole lot. But what's your not in a real technical fancy word gobbledygook type of language, but what's your, in layman's terms, what's your understanding of myelination?
Um, Myelination is the what it's like a fat coating around the neurotransmitter, right, in our brain, right? And the more we repeat an action, that coating increases, thus kind of solidifying that response and making it much more automatic, right? So, which gets us away from, which is also part of building your neural network, right? So as you build a neural network, which can be done, as that neural pathway grows, and the myelination is literally like this fat coating over it that actually is doing more than originally I think anybody, the scientists, ever thought, and it is actually part of it. As the higher grade and the higher quantity of is it myelin? Is it myelin, the word? But it's myelination is the process of it happening. The response then is this automatic response.
Yeah.
That it becomes just the way you do it.
Yeah.
And so muscle memory is kind of an odd, it's not actually the term, because we already know through other studies, and again, without getting, just in basic layman's terms, the studies have been done where groups of people either shooting basketballs, that was one of the early ones done back in the 70s, where a group of, 3 different groups, one group practiced shooting free throws every day. One group didn't practice at all, didn't think about it, just didn't practice at all. The other group didn't physically practice, but they imagined it, they rehearsed it in their mind, the same quantity of balls that the actual group that was practicing shot baskets, right? So this third group was just doing it in their mind. And amazingly, they made the same amount of baskets at the end of the month that the first group made that actually was physically practicing. So they built the neural pathway of that activity without actually doing the activity.
Yeah.
So muscle memory is kind of this weird kind of, it's not actually a true statement of what actually is going on.
Yeah.
Well, look, does that explain it?
Yeah, it's sort of my understanding, and it's the great Daniel Coyle, the author of the book, The Talent Code, and you and I read yesterday an old article that he wrote back, I think it was, what is that, New York Times back in 2007. But my understanding and the way he described it in the article is that like if you look at electrical wire, and you want to get an electrical impulse to really go through that wire cleanly, that the more insulation you have around that electrical wire,
right,
the higher quality insulation, the more you got that pulse or whatever the thing is.
Right. That message.
It just freely goes, right? And
clean delivery.
It's a clean delivery,
right.
And it's more automatic, I guess, is kind of
right.
what we're looking for. And so,
right. So that's what the actual the fat content around that
right.
pathway, the wire is that insulation.
That's right. That's right. So I guess what we're getting here to, guys, is that the way that you start to build the response you want with being consistent is going to go through the 3 principles that we're going to teach you, which I'm going to tell you how you can get access to those 3 principles here later. But you need to practice in a way that builds myelination, that sort of builds up this this insulation around the neural pathways. And I just think that there's some better ways to doing it than just grinding forever on cross court, because that's maybe one way, but I just think the payoff, you can do it a lot sooner if you do a couple other things that we're going to talk about right now. One of them, Jeff, is that what you're suggesting is that when we play practice sets, if you're thinking about how are you going to develop consistency as being a shot maker, is that you've got to have constraints in your practice set. So explain what you mean by that. Give us an example of what that might mean in a practice set.
Well, it means this. I mean, especially specific to kind of what we're talking about here is in doubles specifically, you would if you're hitting your serve, if you're serving and volleying, then your first volley goes cross court to a very specific target every time. There is no choice when you play with this constraint, when you play the match. Every ball you hit from the deuce court, you hit cross court into the opposite deuce court. The whole set.
Even if the guy's falling down in the alley over there and all you have to do is bunt the thing up the line, what we're doing is we're myelinating. Okay.
Yeah, that's it. There's no choices. It doesn't matter what kind of other things are happening. So it's just simply, here's your task. So it's not even you only have one choice, because it's not a choice. It's simply a task. Do this. On the return to serve, same thing. I'm going to return to this target, and it doesn't matter that everybody in the stadium knows it. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do it again, and I'm going to do it again, and I'm just going to keep doing it. Because it's the only way that you can start to see the benefit of doing it, right? We do it, and so all of a sudden I might do it once, and then the guy poached, or the guy came up and hit some shoestring volley winner, and it's like, so what? You got to be in this mode of just what is the long-term effect of me being able to hit a ball to that target 4 times in a row, quality ball that. And so you have to have the discipline to say, this is what I'm going to do for this whole set.
Yeah.
And winning the set is not the goal.
It's off the table. That's right. That's right.
And I know that's a really difficult, parameter for most, players to deal with. Well, what do you mean? I'm playing a practice set. Isn't the goal to win the set?
Yeah. But I mean, look, this message today is we are honing in on those guys who are playing tournaments, those guys who are playing league matches, and they really want to move up to the next rating label. And, maybe there's some other situations where you're a super competitive player, maybe not in some kind of an organized thing. But in fact, for those players, and you're right, Jeff, I mean, a lot of players go out there and all they have time for this week is one time to go out there and play. And it's maybe it's an exercise, a fitness opportunity, whatever it is, but they're going to go out there and look, I want to compete today. I got one, right. I got 3 sets I get to play this week because of whatever, and I don't want to be constraining myself, right? So I'm going to play. I totally get that. But for those guys, for you guys who are out there competing, and your results are being made public, whether it's league stuff or whether it's tournament stuff, you know what? This is your opportunity to become a better tennis player in those arenas, right? In the tournament arena, in the league match arena, is that you've got to schedule some practice sets in there, and just like Jeff said, you got to winning or losing is off the table, and if you don't have the guts to be able to handle that if you trying something, a constraint drill, and the guy knows where you're going every freaking time, and you don't win that set or those 2 sets, and you walk off the court and clubhouse, and the first guy says, who won? And if you're going to kind of go, I can't handle that, so I got to win. I forget it.
Right.
I got to win. then you know what? You're going to stay stuck. You're just going to stay stuck.
Right.
So that's one way, right? So one way is that you're going to have constraints in terms of your shot target, so that you start to build the confidence that if you needed to, you could hit this one high quality forehand all frickin' day long. Same with the backhand.
Right. I
I don't care if it's a top. I don't care if it's a slice. I don't care in your forehand. If you want to slice the forehand all day long, okay. So now I'm what? I'm infidel in the topspin temple now, right? I'm running around. I'm running around amok in the topspin temple, and guys are going, "What are you doing? Get out of here!" I want to hack a few more because it helps me win. I don't know.
yeah.
So listen, another way that you guys can start to build the myelination for whatever shot it is. Let's take a semi-top or forehand drive. Why can't you in these practice sets? Why can't you? This game right now, I'm serving this game. Why can't after every point, between every point, I'm going to practice the feeling of that forehand I want 2 times? I've got 20, 25 seconds, right? Why can't I take that time to pick up a ball, stop for a second, and practice my forehand the way I want it to feel as a standard high-quality rally ball, one of the 4+? And then the next game, let's say I'm receiving serve. Why can't between points I practice perfectly a topper backhand, a slice backhand? Doesn't matter, whatever it is, but you do it every time in that game. And then the other thing too is, let's say you're not playing points, or let's say you are playing points. You're playing points and you got a ball and you've practiced your forehand now twice between points, and it's their serve and you pick up a ball and you drop and you hit it. Oh my God, please do not ever yank a ball out of the pocket and just slop it back, because you're myelinating a lousy shot. And we don't want to do that.
Right.
Right? So look, I mean, I see this all the time. It drives me nuts. I mean, and I see it a lot, and I've stopped saying anything because some guys, I've said it to so many times, they just don't get it. But it's like guys will come up and they're going to come up to net and they're going to practice their volley. And every time they pull a ball out of their pocket and they hit a little semi-topper. And I go, what are you doing? It's not, forget it. Okay. Mr. Stowe, I mean, I swear to God, it would drive him crazy. He would say, when you come up to net, you pull a ball out of your pocket, you get set, you feed it, and you hit a volley. And I went, okay, I'll do that. I was too scared if I pulled did another semi-topper, go, there's the gate, young man. See you later. Don't ever come back. Do the same thing on a backhand volley, right? Why can't we pull a ball out of the pocket, turn, get set up, and you figure out how to toss it, so you set it up and you start a volley. How few players can start a classic backhand volley off a self-feed? Very few.
Very few.
And that's where you learn this, guys. This is where you have the opportunity to get a feeling of what it is you want and start telling your brain, hey man, next time I get a forehand volley in the point, let's do this. Right?
Right.
And then the other, so there's 3 ways on the court that you can that you can really start to fast track the feeling of how to play that shot and get super consistent. Now look, the other way too, Jeff, is off the court, and I think it's one of the most underutilized places where we can rehearse strokes. Why can't I 5 minutes a day, maybe not for 5 minutes, maybe I'll take 1 minute and I'll hit like half a dozen perfect rehearsing forehands, and then take another minute, perfect back. Why can't I do that? It's 5 minutes out of my day. Who doesn't have 5 minutes to do that?
Right.
Anybody?
Right.
If
I got 5 minutes.
If anyone's raising their hand right now, then wow, I want to hear from you down below in the comment section. You literally don't have 5 minutes to swing a tennis racket. That could be a huge difference maker in terms of you fast tracking the learning process on this thing. So, guys, there's 4 ways right there that you can really fast track this. So look, if you're thinking that time, I don't have the time to be a consistent shot maker? Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, you do. So, and by the way, don't let me ever see you come up to net and semi-top a feed to me.
A feed.
Ever. Yeah. Here you go. Here you go. So, guys, listen. Today is Thursday the 6th. I'm sorry. Today is Thursday the 7th.
7th.
The 7th. That's right. It's the 7th. Down below, or if you're over at iTunes, down below in the description area, there's a link. Jeff and I've got a course, and we want to get you in this course. The price is insanely ridiculous. I'm not going to even tell you how low the price is, but what we want you to do is go over there and take a look, because we've got 3 principles that you've got to get organized with on whether it's serve, whether it's return, whether it's any kind of stroke. You guys have got to have these 3 principles as part of every shot in your game, so that you can become a 4+ consistent shot maker with confidence. Right down below is that link. If you are over at iTunes and Stitcher, make sure that you're on our email list, because I've sent out an email later today that you can get access to this course. Right. So, what else, man? Time to say goodbye and ask the fine folks to do what you want them to do right now.
Yeah. Like us.
Good.
Share us.
Boom.
Please subscribe. Let us know what you think.
Whoa.
iTunes and Stitcher, rate and review.
Bumpskin.
Goldballhunting.com. You know you want to tell your doubles partner. You know you want to. Don't be afraid. It's okay. It's okay. It's gonna create a bond between you and your doubles partner if you both start listening.
Okay. I think we're good, Jeff. That's great. All right. With that, everyone, get out there today. Help someone else have a great day. Jeff, we'll try this again tomorrow.
I can't wait.